From Genesis to Malachi, the Old Testament reveals of who God is, as Creator, Redeemer, Judge, and Father. In the book of Genesis, God creates man in his image, calls humanity to fellowship. He is a lawgiver, the judge and covenant keeper of the promise of a redemption that was made in Genesis 3:15, that through the seed of the woman, he will crush the serpent's head, which he did through Jesus Christ. Exodus, God delivers Israel from Egypt, showcasing his protective nature. Leviticus, God provides laws again, guiding his people toward holiness. Numbers, God leads and disciplines Israel during their wilderness journey. Deuteronomy, God is described as a caring father. Is he not your father who created you? Deut. 32:6. Joshua, God fulfills his promises, granting Israel the promised land. Judges, God raises leaders to deliver Israel, reflecting his mercy. Ruth, God's providence is evident in Ruth's story, leading to David's lineage. 1 Samuel, God appoints kings, guiding Israel's leadership. 2 Samuel, God establishes David's dynasty, promising a lasting kingdom. 1 Kings, God's presence fills the temple, indicating his dwelling among his people. 2 Kings, God's justice is seen in Israel and Judah's exile due to disobedience. 1 Chronicles, genealogies trace God's ongoing relationship with his people. 2 Chronicles, God responds to repentance, emphasizing his forgiving nature. Ezra, God moves kings' hearts to restore Jerusalem. Nehemiah, God helps rebuild the walls of Jerusalem, demonstrating his support. Esther, God's providence protects his people from annihilation. Job, God's sovereignty and care are explored amidst suffering. Psalms, God is portrayed as a compassionate father, as a father has compassion on his children. Psalm 103:13. Proverbs, God disciplines those he loves, similar to a father's correction. Ecclesiastes, God is the giver of life's purpose and meaning. Song of Solomon, God's love is reflected in the intimate relationship depicted. Isaiah, God is called our Father and Redeemer. Isaiah 63:16. Jeremiah, God expresses deep concern for Israel, likening himself to a father. Lamentations, God's faithfulness remains despite judgment. Ezekiel, God seeks to restore his people, acting as a shepherd. Daniel, God is sovereign over kingdoms, guiding history. Hosea, God's enduring love is likened to a father's for his wayward child. Joel, God calls for repentance, promising restoration. Amos, God's justice is emphasized, holding his people accountable. Obadiah, God defends his people, ensuring justice. Jonah, God's compassion extends even to enemies. Micah, God requires justice, mercy, and humility from his people. Nahum, God is a refuge in times of trouble. Habakkuk, God's plans are just, even when not understood. Zephaniah, God rejoices over his people with singing. Haggai, God encourages the rebuilding of the temple, symbolizing his presence. Zechariah, God promises future blessings and restoration. Malachi, God is referred to as Father. Have we not all one Father? Malachi 2:10.